What We Lost Inside the Attack on Canada's Largest Children's Charity. To my parents, who have always inspired me to act, my son, who inspired me to recount what has been lost, and my wife, who encouraged me when this project seemed most daunting.
Forward by the Right Honourable Kim Campbell, 19th Prime Minister of Canada. The key lessons learned in our youth are irreplaceable. They are essential in developing our values and in shaping our identity. Two of my earliest lessons have come into sharp focus for me since the so-called We Charity scandal unfolded in 2020. The first is the importance of answering a call to serve. This was instilled in me by my mother and father, who both enlisted in the Canadian Forces in the Second World War. My father joined the Canadian Army in 1939 and would later fight and be wounded in Italy. When women became eligible to serve in the Canadian Navy in 1943, my mother became a Wren. After training as a wireless operator, she tracked the transmissions of German U-boats in the North Atlantic and the Gulf of St. Lawrence. Their service, and their stories of the friends who didn't come back after the war, was the backdrop of my childhood. Another lesson from my childhood is more personal. A boy attended a birthday party at our house and was convinced he had left his toy behind. My mother was falsely accused of hiding it, and I recall how much pain this caused her and how hurt she felt. The truth of her observation that there is nothing worse than being falsely accused has stayed with me and been borne out often in my observations of life. We Charity never hesitated to try to serve when called upon. That was certainly true with respect to the ill-fated Canada Student Service Grant, CSSG. It is sad to ponder how much could have been accomplished with the CSSG. The sadness is exacerbated by the fact that neither the government nor any private organization proved able to deliver the program when We Charity was forced to cede administration of it, leaving young people high and dry in the middle of the COVID pandemic. The We Charity scandal is a story of how disinformation can take on a life of its own. The results were tragic, and the hardest hit were young people. We Charity became collateral damage in a partisan fight. Being the very battlefield of a struggle that has nothing to do with you is to be in a very bad position. But it is even worse if more and more people jump on to seize the opportunity for publicity, their precious 15 minutes of fame. In this case, social media, the accelerated time frame in which attacks occurred, and ultimately the lack of sober deliberation, had swift and fatal repercussions for the charity. It is quick and easy to attack, to make an accusation true or false, and disparage someone. Answering and refuting always takes more time. There is an old saying that a lie is halfway around the world before the truth can get its pants on. Today, integrity in our public discourse matters more than ever. So much of what happens online is designed to appeal to short attention spans and obscure the complete picture. Worse yet, lies and disinformation are often weaponized to attack one's opponents. When politicians join the fray and perpetuate lies online, disinformation can quickly gain traction in the mass media and create a narrative divorced from reality. The frightening proliferation of disinformation disempowers us all. That is why entities such as Facebook and Twitter have had to take the step of curbing political speech that is clearly designed to mislead. There are casualties when you don't follow the truth. We, a wonderful charity that was built in Canada by a 12-year-old boy who called on young people to stand tall and become agents of positive change, was destroyed. We Charity was admired the world over, and I watched with pride as even influential figures outside of Canada, like Oprah Winfrey, saw something special to be celebrated and a movement to be joined. That some in Canada preferred instead to pounce is a disheartening reflection of our tendency to want to cut down tall poppies. Politicians and media outlets reflexively asked, "Who are these Kielburger brothers? Who do they think they are?" Tall poppy syndrome is very real. That is why this book is so essential. It is a sober, fact-based account of how and what occurred to pulverize one of this country's foremost charities. I have an abiding faith in the ability of the Canadian people to draw fair-minded and balanced conclusions.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?